Hey folks, Wally DM here, and today we're going to review the Deck of Many Encounters by Archmage Arispen. You can find their website on Etsy, where you can buy a number of different products. Not only that, but they are a 5-star seller. Now, with regards to this product, I did not pay for this. This was sent to me purely for review, but I will be providing my own honest opinion and feedback of the Deck of Many Encounters. So let's take a look at what we received. And I do want to say that this made it from Poland to about 2 or 3 hours south of Chicago, so the American Midwest, in about 7 days. So that was extremely fast shipping. I was very impressed with that. Now inside we do have a number of extra things. The first thing that we have is a business card, and on the front here you're able to make your own little character, and on the back, if you had a D6 or a pencil like I'm about to show you, you could run your own little mini adventure just by yourself. I thought this was an extremely clever idea. So this pencil actually acts as a D6 or a decision maker, so you can literally roll it on the table, and as you can see there, I just rolled a 5, or you can use it for yes or no answers. That would have been a no, or for hit and miss. That would have been a miss. But you can also fill your dungeon off of that. You've got monsters, treasures, empty rooms, or you can have things like dragons, trolls, skeletons, or rats. And then there's treasure on the end. This is also a clever idea, very unique and really cool. I'm glad that he sent that as well. But here's what you came to see. This is the Deck of Many Encounters. This is 24 unique cards that experience thrilling gameplay with your friends as you play dice with goblins, groove to the beat of a skeleton band, and defend yourself against lethal pillows and brooms. Engage in heated debates with orcs over maps, be prepared to get teleported to a random bedroom, or tempted by magical pies. And at least 3 or 4 of those things on the list, we're actually going to look at the cards. So let's open this up and take a look. And they are very good quality. As you can see here, they've got a nice gloss and shine. They move really well in my hands, and I could shuffle them if I needed to do that as well. So the quality of the cards is really good. Now let's take a closer look and break down what type of cards are in this deck. And the first category is going to be 8 cards that are going to be monster encounters. Now these monsters are going to more than likely lead to combat. The second group that we have are 7 more monster encounters. Now these are a little bit different because these could go either way. This could lead to combat, or this could be an interesting role-playing experience. And I really like the versatility of these encounters. The next group of cards I was really glad to see are 5 traps. I always like having traps if we're doing random dungeon crawls. And then my favorite of the bunch, there's only 4 of them, but these are what I like to either call special or random or strange dungeon rooms. Now, all of the cards are the same on the front with regards to art, so these aren't specific art drawings as far as the dungeon room is concerned. That is just for a background for the cards. Now, while we have the read aloud text on the front that we would read to our players, on the back is going to be the game master information. So as you can see here, we have a giant spider, and it gives some basic statistics for the giant spider, but not only that, it shows you how to run this encounter and some of the things that may or may not happen. It's always good to be prepared and be able to adapt to any situation that might occur when you have these type of encounters. So I'd like to share one of my favorites from each of the groups with you. We'll start with the monsters that are definitely going to lead to combat. As you enter the room, you see a cozy looking bedroom with a large bed in the center. The bed is covered in various pillows of different sizes and shapes. However, as you approach, you notice that some of the pillows seem to be shifting and moving on their own. If you haven't figured it out already, we have mimic pillows. So the mimics are disguised as pillows, and this is probably one of my favorite mimics that I've seen for a while. Now the deck does have a few more mimics in it, but mimic pillows just seem to be a lot of fun. My favorite encounter from the could lead to combat monster pile is the band of skeletons, and this is also mentioned on the back of the deck, a skeleton band. As you enter the room, you hear the sound of music coming from within. As you peek inside, you see a group of skeletons playing various instruments such as lutes, drums, and flutes. They appear to be having a jam session, completely oblivious to your presence. Now, of course, that's the read aloud text that you would read to your players. And then for the information for the Game Master, you're going to find all of that on back. So we're going to have a room that has 6 skeletons. We have the statistics for the skeletons. We have a list of all the items the characters can find in here, such as various musical instruments, a small treasure chest, some gems, some jewelry, and some gold. And we have an if or else statement. So if the characters do something, so if the players decide that their characters join the jam session, then we can do some performance checks and we can just rock out with some skeletons. I love those kind of ideas and encounters that could go either way depending on the reaction of the characters. So again, there are 5 traps in this deck, and this is my favorite trap. As you enter the room, you see various paintings hanging on the wall. The paintings depict different scenes ranging from the beautiful landscapes to fierce battles. Suddenly, the paintings come to life and you feel yourself being drawn towards them. Now, information on the back kind of makes this trap a bit of a puzzle. So this room is filled with enchanted paintings, and it gives 3 examples. So we have the landscape, where if a character is to approach this one, they're going to be drawn into a forest, and they're going to need to find a hidden exit. The battle painting is a painting of a fierce battle between knights and dragons. So if a character were to be drawn into this painting, they would have to fight alongside the knight. And once the battle is won, then they would be able to escape the painting. And then we have a horror or a haunted house painting. And the characters are drawn into that, and they need to explore the house, avoid ghosts, and then find the exit. Now, one more bit of information. It is important to note that the paintings are not real, and any damage done to them will not harm the players trapped inside, or the characters trapped inside. To escape a painting, the character must complete the objective to find the exit. So again, I really like that one. I will probably use that in a future game. I like using paintings and being drawn into them. And then finally, out of the 4 special or strange room cards, we have 2 of them that I really like. Now, I had a hard time choosing between the 2, but I'm actually going to pick this one, which is going to deal with pies. But the other one is like a magic mouth encounter, and I've always liked those. But this one reads, as you enter the room, you see a large table with dozens of pies. Each pie has a different flavor and color. The aroma is intoxicating, and you can't help but feel drawn to the table. So again, there's all kinds of information for the GM on the back, and these enchanted pies are going to have different effects. So we have a D10 table. So we have pies like sweet cherry that's going to heal. We have savory meat, which is going to deal damage. Spicy jalapeno is going to deal fire damage. Sour lemon is going to reduce armor class by 2 or 1d4 hours. Bitter grapefruit, salty bacon, rich chocolate, nutty almond, minty peppermint, and earthy mushroom. And of course, it gives you some information on how to run this encounter by stating that the players can make a DC 15 intelligence investigation check to identify the flavor and potential effect of a pie before eating it. If they choose to eat a pie without checking, the Dungeon Master can roll a 1d10 to determine the flavor and effect. So again, I think that one's going to be a lot of fun, and I'll definitely be using that in the near future. So if we were to take a look at the pros and cons, I think this is a very creative and fun deck. I could easily see myself carrying this with me in my Dungeon Master toolkit, and if I needed an impromptu room, this one's going to acquire about 5 to 10 minutes of our time. So I could definitely see using them. The quality is fairly good, so they are going to be durable, and the seller, Archmage Arispen, has a 5-star rating, which is always good to see. And then finally, the shipping was quite fast. I received these in about 7 days, and that was from Poland to the American Midwest. Now, I do have 2 cons about the deck, and the first one is the price. We're looking at about $15 to $16, plus about $8 to $10 to ship from Poland to the American Midwest. So a total investment, we're looking at about $22 to $25, which isn't actually too bad. I would pay that for a deck of cards, but the main glaring part of that is there are only 24 cards in the deck, and most decks that I collect do have about 48 cards. But regardless, this is unique enough that I am excited to have it in my collection. I would definitely recommend it to you if you collect cards or like to have cards that you could use with improv games, or if you're looking for a gift for a Dungeon Master or a Game Master. This is probably something that they don't have in their collection, and they would be excited to see it. So that's all I have for you today. What did you think of the deck of many encounters? Is this something that you already own? Something you plan on picking up or maybe buying for a friend as a gift? Be sure to leave a comment below. And don't forget that there is a link with a discount code that you can use if you buy this on Etsy. Thank you very much for watching, and on to the next.